Quick introduction, my name is Zai and I've been playing Quake since 1998, so I tend to have a pretty good idea of what makes a good mouse and what makes a bad one. In this video I'm going to tell you my top 5, but obviously I couldn't test them all, so I have to give a special mention to the Myonix Castor. That looks really good. Final Mouse 2015 would have loved to have got one of those, but I'm waiting for the 2016 now. I no longer have the Logitech G402 or 502, but those are two mice that are also worth checking out. And while some of these mice may have come out before 2015, because I've only started this channel this year, I wanted to include them anyway. Every mouse that I'm about to list is one that I've kept, so while it might not be in my top 5, it's still definitely worth checking out because it will suit people out there. And they all have good points and bad points. There's no such thing as a perfect mouse. Now this video could get very long if I explain every feature of every mouse. So I'm going to give you a quick overview, and then if you want to know more, just click the link on screen and you'll be taken to a new window where you can watch the entire review of that mouse. So let's get started. This is the Rapoo V300. It's got an interesting shape, a very slim base. It feels like a small mouse with a slightly wide front and a bit thin in the back, but it's got the most comfortable grooves in the buttons that I've ever used. The scroll wheel is nice and responsive. There's enough tactile feedback there to be comfortable for CS players. You've got an extra button on the side, and while it is a great mouse, it does have some flaws. The sensor isn't perfect. It only gives you 4 stages of DPI, starting at 800 and ending at 32. This is the Razer Death Adder Chroma, one of the most comfortable designs around, extremely popular mouse. It is on the large side though. The sensor is outstanding, very good mouse for competitive play if you like the size. This is the SteelSeries Rival 100, new on the market, and it's a good cheap mouse. But as I'll always say with this one, it's good, but not great. It does have some flaws, but if you're a casual gamer and you just want a nice small mouse with a safe shape and an RGB light, this could be an option for you. Now the good old reliable Logitech G302. I've had this for over a year now. I used it for a solid 9 months, and as you can see, it's still in very good condition. Problems with this are the stiff cable. Some people don't like the diamond shape, but otherwise it's just a good small mouse with very good buttons, and the sensor's quite good too. And now the SteelSeries Rival 300. I've only just got my copy of this one, and I must say, very impressed. Just an all-round good solid mouse, but it is quite large. Although because it has a thinner base where you put your fingers, it doesn't feel as big as it actually looks. And now the Logitech G303, the successor to the G302. It has some improvements, it has a better cable, it has extra feet on the base, and that prevents the rocking. This mouse is known to have one of the best sensors on the market, if not the best, extremely fast and responsive clicks, and is definitely one of the favorites around. The major problem is the build quality. Unfortunately, this mouse suffers from sensor rattle. I have heard that the new batch are going to be fixed, but if you do experience any sort of rattle, then please return it as soon as possible and save damaging the feet by trying to open it up. New to the market, the Roccat Cairo. This is especially interesting because the sides come off. For all the people who want side buttons, and all the people who don't want side buttons, you can now choose whether you have them and which side you want them on. And the side panels are held in by magnets. Very cool design. Everything is really good on this mouse, except it's a little bit heavy in the back. And now the Roccat Comb Pure. I've had this in laser and optical, and the optical sensor outperforms the laser. However, during play and general use, I haven't found the laser has affected me, so I can definitely recommend this mouse, even in laser version. The materials are like none other I've ever used. Silky smooth on top, nice and rubberized on the side. This is just an amazing mouse quality wise. Now if this was a video about which had the coolest lights, the Razer Mamba Tournament would definitely win. Razer were even promoting this as having the best sensor ever. The sensor's not that good. It has a slight delay on it, it has fluctuating DPI, and it has a strange Z-axis bug. So while the mouse has plenty of buttons, with a tilt wheel and DPI buttons as well as the side buttons, the mouse just doesn't hold up as a gamer's mouse, unless you're playing games that don't rely on a strong sensor. And lastly, the Zowie EC2A. This mouse is for competitive gamers. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles that all the other mice do. This one doesn't even have software. You've only got a choice of 4 DPI modes. There's no textures on the plastic, it's all just smooth. The shape, weight, feel, and everything about this mouse is pretty much perfect. I've never played better with any other mouse. Now later in this video, I'll do a top 5. But for now, I want to give some awards. So best lights. Clearly, the Razer Mamba Tournament. The best innovation, the Roccat Cairo. I really hope we see more mice like this. The best materials, Clearly the Rockhead Cone. It's just the shape that really upsets this one. Best bang for your buck for a big mouse, I'd say would be the Razer Death Adder Chroma. The most recommended mouse over the last year, the Logitech G302. Unfortunately the G303 isn't everywhere just yet, so a lot of people are forced to go with this one. But it's such a good choice, I don't mind recommending it still, and it doesn't have sensor rattle. So if you're after a cheap small mouse that's been quite reliable, and you think the shape won't bother you, then this is definitely something that you should consider. Now moving on to my top 5. At number 5 we have the SteelSeries Rival 300. This mouse is just good all around. My only problem with it is the size. If we had a smaller version of this might rank higher. Really well built, the grips don't wear out anymore apparently. RGB light, extremely comfortable design, and one of the most natural feeling mice in the hand. You can see that my fingers are pretty much straight along the buttons. If I did that on the Death Adder, they'd be crooked. Definitely check out the review of this one. I think it's going to suit a lot of people. At number 4 we have the Rockhead Cone Pure. The build quality mixed with the textures and materials on this thing definitely make it worthy of the top 5. It's not my mouse of choice in game because the shape is slightly awkward, but the quality of the buttons and the scroll wheel and just everything about it, even the look of it, this is just an amazing mouse. Personally, I'd prefer this over the SteelSeries Rival 300. However, to other people, I would recommend the Rival 300. This is a smaller mouse though, so you'll probably find that you can aim better with this anyway. Amazing mouse, go check out the review. At number 3 we have the Logitech G303. RGB light, extremely responsive buttons, tactile scroll wheel, although personally I don't really like that. An amazing sensor. For me, a comfortable shape. Will suit all grip styles except maybe palm, depending on the hand size. And unless you can only get the G302, this is the one that gets recommended. If it wasn't for the sensor rattle, this would be near perfect. In second place, the wild card, the Rappu V300. This thing's sensor is slightly jittery. It may have a very slight delay on it, but it's still just one of my favorite mice to use, and it's a cheap mouse. If you're looking for a mouse that's cheap, small to medium, extremely comfortable and will help you play better, this is a mouse you want to check out. You can see by the red on the pad behind it, it's got an old school optical sensor. So much fun playing with this. There's just something about it that I absolutely love, and I'd say it's the materials on top, mixed with the nice grooves on the buttons. Now for those who watch this channel regularly, you'll know what number 1 is, because I've never played so well with any other mouse. The shape, the weight, the balance, I mentioned all this before. Of course, it is the Zowie EC2A. It's more expensive than the others, it's a medium-sized mouse, but I never thought a mouse could help me play this much. If you're looking for that competitive edge and the advantage in games, and your hand size is about the same as mine, then definitely check this one out. If this one's too small for you, try the EC1A. But I don't think this one's for casuals. If you're a serious player, consider the Zowie EC range. So that's my top 5 of 2015. How about you, what would you say? If you like, leave a comment below, leaving a list of your top 5 mice. And if I haven't reviewed them already, I might try to get them. If you want to purchase any of these mice, I'll leave Amazon links in the description. And I just want to say a personal thank you to everyone who's been part of the community, leaving comments, liking the videos, and subscribing. It's been a big help, it's been a lot of fun, and I'll definitely continue this channel in 2016. So again, thanks for watching, please subscribe if you haven't already, stay safe, have fun for the new year, and I hope all these videos have helped you out. If you have any other questions or comments, please leave them below, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But until then, I'll catch you in the next video.